Amazon is number 8 and Moderna is number 3 is just beyond me. Last month, you might recall me asking what the they were actually doing over there, as most of their executives were selling shares like crazy, and there was some pretty shady going on. And hey, by the way, do we have an inside look of what they're actually still up to? Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Okay, well, moving on. Number 10 is Nikola. And what the I just don't understand where the value here is with Nikola when another 45,000 of you came into this stock just this month. So it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's the trash trucks, bro. You don't even understand. Those trash trucks are going to send Nikola up. What are you wearing? What? I'm trying to go for the Jordan Belfort look. I'm going to be on Wall Street one day. You just I gotta dress the part. I gotta talk the part. I don't even know what to say. That accent is terrible. You look ridiculous. You sound like you're cross between Sylvester Stallone and Christopher Walken. Forget about it. Forget about it. It's not even, bro. Come on. Isn't that close? All right, look. Do we have any idea how much these trash trucks are actually going to be yet? No. Okay, well then how far off are we actually from seeing one of these trucks? Trevor says 2021. Okay, well it's about 3 months from 2021. Has that plant actually been built yet? Is it done being built? That's a no. No. Right. Okay, well, you know what, man? Good luck with that, but I'm just going to have to stay away from this. God, I don't even know what to say to that. That was... Cash card spend was up 50% with the cash balances stored in accounts, which is 86% higher than last quarter alone. This is absolutely incredible as we are seeing higher demand for frictionless transactions that have been exacerbated by the Rona. But even after we get past the pandemic, demand won't change here. The cat's been let out of the bag and there's no putting it back. It's never been easier to spend money, and Lord knows we all love impulse buying. Hey, speaking of impulse buys, how's that plan with Kodak going? You know what, bro? It's a bit of a sore subject right now. Oh, sorry, bro. Sorry, that's my bad. Well, moving back on the square, the two companies that are at the forefront of this, click the join button below if you don't want to miss out on watch lists I put out each morning before the market opens, so you don't miss out on the next one. But what about Intel? Ticker symbol INTC has been seriously beat down here, so is this a great opportunity as well? The stock has tanked over 15% in the last 2 trading days, and in my opinion, don't bet on this getting back over those $60 highs anytime soon. They reported second quarter results last week, and as I had mentioned earlier, the release included the shocking announcement that the company's 7nm processors would be delayed by an approximately 6 months. Those chips were initially scheduled to launch in late 2021, so the delay will push that debut back to 2022. Supposedly, Intel is finally starting to ramp up 10nm production, which was also delayed by years, and honestly, who's trusting that right now? Let's not forget that Apple dumping them has been a huge factor that should have played a big one in the company's performance over the last quarter, and after these earnings, investors are finally starting to realize it. In my opinion, Intel eventually goes lower unless they can figure out how to adapt, much like their surging counterpart is doing. Let me know your thoughts on this, though. Is there a light at the end of the tunnel for Intel, or is AMD the new sheriff in town that's here to stay? What's up, everybody? Welcome to Stock Watch Sunday. My name is Brad, and this is Only Chaos. Next to me, I don't know, on this side or that side, I can't figure it out, is Christian. And we have so much stuff to discuss tonight. First of all, we have the top 5 stocks that we're watching this week, as always. But there's so much other stuff going on. We have TikTok deals going bad. We have Gilead acquiring companies, and AstraZeneca's back. So there's all kinds of really cool stuff to talk about. But what a weekend. I mean, football's back. It just feels good. And I think we got a good week ahead of us. Futures are up as well, so it's going to be an exciting time. What's going on, Christian? How are you, man?
I'm good, man. Glad football's back. I'm feeling good. I need to upgrade this camera though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, actually, I have something for you as well. For audio, by the way, too, to get that mic closer to you. But we'll get you straightened out.
All right.
So what's up, everybody else? I mean, there's so many of you waiting in here before we went live. We're already at 2:41. This is incredible. What's going on, Jeffrey? What's up, Melissa? William Williams, good to have you. William Williams just put a comment in that he's part of the Chaos crew now. Good to see you, bro. I'm happy that you're part of the crew. Lamar Jackson went off. Hell yeah, because he's Lamar Jackson, MVP, baby. Yeah, there was just all kinds of crazy stuff. Tom Brady, he'll get back to his old self, I'm sure, but he did not have a good day. Yeah, I just saw Hope said Saints kicked ass. I'm so happy. So yeah, it's great, man. It's a great time of year. But on to more important things. There are some stuff to watch this week. So as I was right before I went live, futures were up over a ton tonight. NASDAQ was up already 1%. Dow was up $140. So some pretty exciting developments. And I think that's probably why we're going to see a little bit of an uptick in the markets this week. We have AstraZeneca who restarted their vaccine trials. And so that'll probably bring some buyers in as far as that's concerned. We also have Gilead making a huge acquisition for $21 billion. It's a $21 billion deal. We'll talk about that. And we're also going to be talking about Elon Musk. Has some harsh words to say about Bill Gates. So all kinds of other stuff. What are you looking forward to this week, Christian?
I mean, just tonight, there's so much going on. Did you see the news about Microsoft and TikTok?
Yeah, just before I went live, I was gonna. I thought about changing the title because I knew you wanted to talk about that. That's an unbelievable development. So why don't you? I'll let you take the lead on that one real quick.
Yeah, so it's Microsoft basically said that TikTok notified them they're not accepting their deal. It looks like they're moving forward with Oracle. That has not been confirmed, but technically, I believe the deal is supposed to be done by Tuesday. So all signs point to Oracle. So we're gonna have to talk about Oracle. So that comes as a bit of surprise. Obviously, that's going to impact Microsoft. Maybe, I mean, I love Microsoft. This may actually be a great opportunity to get some Microsoft on the cheap once the dust settles.
Yeah, I mean, and this is interesting too because we're hearing mixed reports. We have that they might be going towards Oracle, but then China's also saying that they don't want to be forced into. They don't want TikTok to be forced into some sort of U.S. deal just for the sake of being forced into a U.S. deal. So there's lots of tensions going on there, which I think brings up one of the stocks we're going to be watching this week because of that. And so make sure you're staying tuned for that coming up in just a second. But it's interesting, man, because there's a lot that's going to be affected in the market just because of this TikTok deal, whether it goes through or not. We already know that Fastly's TikTok's one of Fastly's largest clients, so that could definitely impact them if by some chance this doesn't go through. And and we're going to be talking about Snapchat later, but that's also impacted as well. And then Microsoft might have a really tough day, but I think that could be definitely a good opportunity to grab some Microsoft because Microsoft right now, where it landed at the end of Friday, was at levels before TikTok was even brought up. So it's below those levels. So I think that Microsoft will still be a good opportunity to pick some up on the cheap. Definitely going to be one to watch out for. It's not on the list tonight, but that's definitely one that everybody should keep their eye on for sure, especially if it comes under $200.
And I know a lot of people are going to be asking us about Oracle, especially if that deal gets through. But I'm more focused on what happens to Microsoft, what happens to Walmart as far as opportunities are concerned.
Yeah.
But Tuesday, I'm most excited for. There's a lot going on Tuesday, earnings-wise. This Microsoft deal may go through Tuesday, and Apple's event is on Tuesday.
Yeah, there's so much going on this week. It's crazy to try to figure out which ones we want to talk about. But yeah, so let's get into it because Tuesday, we have two earnings that are coming out. One of them is going to be FedEx, and that's the first one we're going to talk about today is going to be FedEx. This is the first stock of the 5 stocks that we're watching this week. And FedEx is going to be interesting because UPS had monster earnings a couple weeks ago, and so now it's FedEx's turn. My thing is what's the new normal going to look like? E-commerce is exploding. there was a lot of concerns with FedEx about them, taking a hit as far as commercial shipping was concerned, and retail has just taken the whole industry by storm. We've seen more and more people who may have been laid off are turning towards things like Etsy and making their own businesses, and so they need to ship them somehow. My only concern, as it always has been Amazon, of them trying to take up the market share, for example. But I don't know if that's going to happen shorter term. I think it's more of a longer term outlook as far as FedEx is concerned. Their expected earnings are after hours on Tuesday. Estimated earnings per share are $2.64. I think they beat that. My bold prediction for them is going to be at $3.11. So I think they absolutely crush it. So I think that we'll see a really nice move on Gilead. I'm sorry, not Gilead, on FedEx. I can't talk today. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you, and we'll look at the FedEx chart here. So where would be a good opportunity to grab some? I'm looking at FedEx at potentially around 228. That's where I could see this coming back down to, but really I don't know if it does. So looking at a pre-market tomorrow is really kind of going to be where you want to make your decisions at. 232 or 232.50 would be where I would feel comfortable grabbing this if we saw a bounce. But my opinion is that this probably takes off and keeps running into Tuesday. And what the reactions are going to be after hours when earnings come through is kind of going to be anybody's guess. But I think they crush it, and I think the obvious thing here is going to be what the outlook is going to be like. Christian, love to hear your thoughts on FedEx.
Yeah, I actually had a similar. So this week I'm actually ready with numbers for my predictions. I agree with you. I don't like FedEx's fundamentals, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
They have razor thin margins. I don't love that. I do think that, the commercial point is good. The e-commerce, I believe, far outweighs it.
Yeah.
And I like FedEx better for e-commerce than UPS. I don't know if that's founded or not. There's no data to back that. But I have it at 307. So similar to yours.
Okay. 307. Yeah. Mine was 311. That's pretty awesome. We didn't talk about what our predictions were going to be before we went on air. So that's pretty close. Yeah. So, but I think this is going to be a good short-term swing play for any of you guys asking. But holding on to this forever, not something that I would suggest doing if it were me. Yep. But there you have it with FedEx. Moving on, we have Adobe also on Tuesday. And this is going to be interesting as well because this is one of the last software as a service companies that are going to be reporting as far as earnings seasons are concerned for the third quarter. We've seen mixed reactions to a lot of this, right? Some of these companies investors felt were overvalued, and even though they may have crushed earnings, it still sold off anyway. We saw that with DocuSign. We saw that with CrowdStrike and others. Adobe's could be different. The market could also have a much higher sentiment. They might feel a bit better about the overall market, and so we could see a much more positive reaction from Adobe, but it's going to be very touch and go. They have after hours. They have after hours earnings on Tuesday. Estimated earnings per share at 241. I think they do beat these earnings, coming in at 273. One of the sales that jumped 14% in the last quarter. So second quarter. This quarter, I think it's going to be probably around 20%. And the reason why I say that is because there were still some people that the lockdown hadn't completely happened in the previous reported quarter. So this one's, I think, is going to absolutely crush it. We're going to be looking for increased subscription revenue as well as operating income. Operating income increased over $1 billion last quarter compared to that last year of $750 million. This quarter, my bold prediction for Adobe is going to be $1.3 billion. That is going to be a huge number to beat, but I think that it's possible. I think they could possibly do that. So they closed on Friday at 471.35. Where would be a reasonable place to grab this? I like this at a support at 462. And again, looking for a bounce there is what I want to see for Adobe. But we could see this make a really nice run going into earnings on Tuesday after hours. What you got, my man?
Sorry, what did you have as your prediction for the estimate?
273 is what I think they come in at.
273. This one's complicated. So I love Adobe. And for those, we don't talk about it enough. It's only really shown up on the watch list once back in July.
Yeah.
As a product compared to its competitors, it stands out. It's a great product. And for those that don't know, back in I want to say it was like 2013, 2014, they shifted. Adobe used to be a desktop package, and then they moved to cloud service. So great move 7 years ago because they're perfect for what's happening now.
Yep.
I love the product. I love the brand. Here's where I struggle. I think it's easier for us to say anything cloud-based, it's going to crush it. It's going to exceed expectations. I do think they beat, but Adobe does two things. So they have tools for creators, digital creators and designers. And then they have this advertising marketing arm. And so they get hurt by the lack of businesses being open and potential pullback on spend. So there's these two things. So the question I ask myself, cloud business and looking at the services, looking at the products it offers for designers, are there more designers buying those products? I don't think so. I think the designers that were always here. They're just doing better and they're paying the same subscription model. I'm sure there's an increase, but I don't think it's like, I saw Motley Fool do a comparison between CrowdStrike and Adobe. Mm-hmm. And to me, CrowdStrike is cybersecurity. That business has huge potential. So here's what I'll say. I think they beat. My prediction is $2.59. However, I don't see them having a move up because I think as they look forward, it's hard to show massive growth as opposed to a company like CrowdStrike.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be a little bit of both. I'm going to go against you on this one. I think that they do move up based off of the pretty big downturn that they've had. I mean, they came all the way down from $594, sitting at $471, and that's not to say just because they've come down so far they can't go lower. But I like the prediction at what did you say? 259. Yeah, that's a pretty good number. But I think the reaction is going to be good as long as they beat revenue and they have an increase in subscriptions. If they don't meet those metrics, I think it's going to be a tough day for them. But we'll see how that works out. Again, I think 262 should be a reasonable area, even if you just want to be out before the earnings come out. I think we see a nice run into this one. Definitely a good one to keep your eye on. And if this does sell off after the earnings come out, this might be a good opportunity to grab some on the cheap as well. If you're looking to just not hold on to this at all until after earnings come out and they miss by some chance, 422 could be a really good spot. If you guys look at this on the 4-hour chart here using Webull, 422 seems to be a really solid area for Adobe if by some chance there's not good news that comes out of this or there's a poor market reaction.
Yeah, let me say to your point, I love Adobe long-term. Let me be clear.
Yeah.
You can make the argument either way. The growth it's seen. So if you look at over the past 6 months, 3 months, it's grown, but it hasn't grown like the other cloud companies. So that's the other side of the argument.
Yeah.
Is there is room to grow comparatively. So that is that argument.
Yeah. And I guess if you look at companies like Fastly and Cloudera, some of the other cloud related companies, and I guess you could toss Microsoft in there as well. The market reaction after earnings was not good. All of those that I've just mentioned, the reaction was positive. So I guess I am kind of going against the flow here a little bit, but we'll see how it shakes out. Okay, moving on. Before we get to the next three here to watch for this week, just want to invite you guys over to check out the Chaos Crew. I saw a couple of people signing up for level 2, which gets my public portfolio. If you guys haven't checked that out, click the join button next to subscribe. It's $4.99 a month. You get all kinds of cool stuff. You get the
chat tonight, because tonight if you didn't pay $4.99, you can't chat.
yeah. So you get. Oh, did I block it off to everybody?
I think it was set from.
Oh man, I can't believe I did that. Sorry guys. Usually Stockwatch Sunday, I try to keep it private. Hold on. Let me see if I can just change that real quick. But yeah, if you guys want to be a part of the Chaos Crew, you can. Let me see if I can. 1 second. We got McTag on here. That's awesome. But I'm going to actually allow everybody to do this. Let's see here. Okay.
Yeah, we also need to talk about Netflix. I think Steve brought up Netflix and the cuties debacle. I see Beach Booty, something about Beach Booty. I don't know if you guys talk about it.
Yeah, I've seen it all over social media. It's been pretty ugly, but let's see if we can open that up. Yep, here we go. Members only mode is off, so now the rest of the public can chat. Sorry about that, guys. And let me bring us back over to the screen share. So anyways, as I was saying, if you guys want to be a part of the Chaos Crew, we do a daily watch list every single day of the week. Christian and I put together, and it comes out before the market opens, so you get a good idea of what the market's going to look like. Also, you get access to the chat when it's private during the week, and we have private live streams, private videos that we put out for the Chaos Crew, and then, like I said, you get access to the public portfolio as well. Daily changes that I make to that, you guys get to see. If you want to be part of the crew, click the join button, and we're good to go. So, yeah, I see some folks chatting in here now, so we should be good.
All right, on to the next one. We got a lot to talk about. Let's move.
All right. So the next one's going to be Snapchat. Snapchat, China, like we said earlier in the show, China is opposing a forced U.S. TikTok deal, which could potentially lead to an actual ban of TikTok altogether, unless someone bends on this one way or the other, whether it's the U.S. or China. We already talked to you guys about how Microsoft came out and said that they were basically denied an offer. And it looks as if Oracle could still be on the table, but we'll see. If China says, hey, where this isn't going to be a thing, there's still a lot left to happen here. I mean, we have till Tuesday. There's a lot going to happen in the next 48 hours, but it's been really interesting to see how this all has developed. There's all kinds of other good stuff. Snapchat was also the stock of the month. You guys caught the top stocks that I am watching for the month. Snapchat is it. It has done nothing but go up since September 1st over the last 2 weeks. And really, if you take it back to the end of August, it's done really well too. This is one that I am in on the public portfolio, and I've been continually adding to and accumulating a position on. And so this has just done nothing but go up. They have all kinds of really good stuff. Augmented reality is going to be something huge for them. And really for no other reason other than what I've kind of disclosed earlier, plus the TikTok issues that are going on. This is why this is one definitely to watch out for. And it could be a pullback if a TikTok deal goes through with Oracle or someone else. There might be a little bit of a pullback because investors may see this as a negative, but I still think that Snap is just leaps and bounds ahead of some of these other smaller media-based platforms such as TikTok.
Yes, we love Snap. We personally don't use Snap, but we love Snap.
I use it on a very limited basis. Let's put it that way.
So we've talked ad nauseum about this company. We love it. Here's where I struggle with Snap, with the disclaimer that I love it. They got to figure out how to monetize their platform better. If you go look at Facebook, and that's not technically apples to apples, but you're talking about two social media platforms. Facebook monetizes the hell out of their platform. Their margins are ridiculous. Yep. And then you got Snapchat losing money, bleeding money.
Yeah.
And so they got to get that under control. And I don't understand how. I don't understand what the problem is. You have the user base, you have the opportunity, you have the partnerships. What the hell is going on? So they got to figure that out. If they figure that out, this stock is going to go off.
Yeah. This reminds me a lot of what Facebook had to go through in the earlier days before they ended up going public, and some of the other big platforms as well. And I think it's just going to take time. What I would hate to see is that they were going through a grow at all cost approach, kind of like Uber and Lyft and all those other ones, because it just doesn't make any sense to just keep tossing money at something and spending it faster than you're making it. I think Snap will probably eventually get ahead of this, and so that's why I like it a lot. But yeah, it's going to look great. We got a couple of stuff going on here. We had a couple of people join. Ticker Hunter, what's going on? Welcome to the Chaos Crew, man. Happy to have you. And
what's up?
Big Felix donated $50 for Fastly and Oracle. He says, hell yeah, man. Thanks for the donation. Really appreciate that. That's awesome. $50. That's crazy. All right. So there's Snapchat. Next is Gilead. So Gilead they have a deal. They have a deal with Immunomedics. I kept trying to say that off air to practice it, but they announced today that just today, this is breaking news. They announced today that the companies have entered into a definitive agreement pursuant to which Gilead will acquire Immunomedics for $88 per share in cash. The transaction, which Immunomedics approximately $21 billion. Now, Immunomedics is a publicly traded company. It's IMMU. The play here isn't IMMU. For me, in particular, it's going to be Gilead. I think that Gilead makes a strong move here. If it gets above $67 a share, which, going in the pre-market would probably may be above that. And if it goes above that, then $70 a share is where I'm looking for Gilead to break for potential entry and for a continuation here. The reason I'm saying not go after IMMU is because of the cash acquisition at $88 a share. IMMU is probably going to go to $88 a share in the pre-market, and it's not going to go any higher than that. We saw that with acquisitions from Google and Fitbit. And you have a cash acquisition for a certain dollar amount per share. It usually doesn't go any higher than that. So the play here for either one of these is going to be Gilead, in my opinion. Christian, what you got, man?
I hate this company. Don't like it. Don't like it one bit. It will be above 70 when the market opens, I believe, just because the market's shaping up just to be positive in general. And then with this news, I expect this freaking thing to go off.
Yeah.
I don't like the company. I think the management is about as good as the management at Slack. I don't think they know how to run a company. So buying another company and bringing it in does not make management better. So it's going to move. I don't like the company.
I don't like the company either. So I guess I should be clear. I think that there's a move to be made, and it's going to be more of a day trade, probably not something that I would say I would hold on to. So we're on the same page there, but I do think there's going to be a pretty strong move in this tomorrow. So definitely one to watch out for. Am I seeing reports that Oracle? I see some people commenting that Oracle did actually get TikTok. I guess we'll have to come back on that and confirm with you guys as to whether or not they did. Gilead's definitely one to watch for. Be careful with this one. Don't hold it forever, but it's going to make a nice pop tomorrow. And those are the two areas that I would watch for on that.
And as far as a day trade, I think getting in and open is fine. Like normally we wait for pullbacks on stuff. I don't know if I see this on this one. I would look at the chart. I'd probably get in early and just keep a tight stop. And, just look at the supports and resistances. But yes, it'll be great this week.
Yeah. Okay. Anthony Moran, welcome to the Chaos Crew, man. Happy to have you. Lastly, we have Apple. So Apple is, I'm just going to let Christian take the lead on Apple. I have all kinds of information on it, but I know he's been chomping at the bit to talk about this one today. So I'll let you go ahead and take this one away, my man.
Bro, Alan said, I hate everything. I think that is not a true statement, but when I do, I feel strongly about it. I love a lot of things. So Apple, all right, so this is interesting. We have their event on Tuesday.
Yep.
And it's like time flies or something is the tagline. Apple's it's gotten beat down like everything else has, which is perfect for this event. So they're talking about, big question is, are they going to announce the new iPhone? Most reports saying no, but then some say they might do it. It's really focused on watches, which is really based on watches, and then the iPad Air. I think they're really moving towards combining the iPad and the PC as like their focus, and not that PCs aren't going to exist, but it feels like they're morphing into really it becoming one unit. So it's interesting because if they announce the new phone, I think this is going to go off, but I think the stock moves up anyways. And we love Apple in general, so it doesn't really matter, because if it goes down, I'm going to buy. If it goes up, I'm probably going to buy. I mean, I'm already full account size, so it doesn't really matter, to be honest.
Yeah. So here's the thing that we always say about Apple. It's a buy and hold. It's not really something that you just trade. Can you trade it? Of course you can. You can trade anything. But I've said in the mentorship that you can get into that I really liked it at 110. I've been scaling into this all week last week as this has been coming down. And I think that we do see a really nice move going into Tuesday as far as that's concerned. But that's not the only thing they have coming up. They also have the iPhone 12 that's going to be separate from this about a week or two later. where they show off the iPhone 12 as well. So they have a lot of.
I heard. Well, I guess I heard October, so I guess that is right.
Yeah. So I think this is going to be a really good segue or a chain of events that could happen with Apple that will start to send us back up. I think we're starting to get to a point where we're oversold, and this is a really good buy at 110, in my opinion. Definitely one to watch for. That is the 5 stocks we're watching. And before I end this segment, I do want to reiterate or retract some things. I am seeing some developments here that TikTok has reached a deal. This is from Reuters and from Yahoo News that TikTok reached an agreement with to sell its U.S. operations to Oracle, rejecting Microsoft's proposal. So that's from 2 different sources. So it's going to change some things with Snapchat. This could actually cause Snapchat to sell off a little bit, but it doesn't matter for me longer term. For a longer term swing, I like Snapchat as we head into earnings coming up in October. This doesn't change anything for me other than if you're not in it, I would wait to see how it develops tomorrow.
Yeah. Side note, I'm surprised how many people we have in here, considering I thought they might be watching football. I was a little bit nervous. Everybody watching football, but we got over 500 people. I don't know the like count, but
we got 500 people in here and 119 likes. That's pitiful. If you guys want to support the channel, get the thumbs up. I appreciate it, guys.
Right, one more thing about Apple. What they're doing subscription wise, exercise, they're going after Peloton, which we'll talk about Peloton, people. I know you keep mentioning it. Though they're going after Spotify. They're going after literally everybody.
Yeah.
They're literally taking over the world. They're going after Netflix. So they're just a monster. And everything they're going after is high margin. It's going to go right to the bottom line. It's really awesome. What a freaking monster of a company.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's no question. No question. I see a lot of people multitasking right here, watching football and the cast. I appreciate the dedication to Stock Watch Sunday, folks. For those of you who are multitasking, I myself, if I had the ability to live stream and watch football, I would do it.
Well, quick thing. So I'm thinking that the cheesecloth condom pick of the week should be a football pick.
It's so yeah. It would be the Browns this week if it were me.
No, I mean tonight, right now, the game right now. It's Cowboys, Rams. It's 7-7. Start of the second quarter.
So who am I picking to win tonight?
Yeah,
Cowboys.
Oh, I like the Cowboys. They're good. I'm just gonna take the Rams just because.
Well, yeah. I mean that stadium looks bomb too.
All right, what do we got next?
Well, speaking of cheesecloth condoms of the week, this is my cheesecloth condom pick of the week. Sneakla. Y'all, there's so many people gave me hate for hating on this stock, and I just had to say that it's trash. It's trash.
You think it's going down even more?
Yeah,
I mean, you gotta get
it's going down even more. It's going down below $30. I think we see this below $25 this week. Do not buy the dip on this turd.
Is this the? Well, I don't even want to spend time on that. All of it, the Trevor, the company. What and you name. Sorry, I'm going off on it, and I'm done. I'm zipping.
It's all good. All right, so moving on, we're getting to the point now of to the part of our stream where we answer your guys' questions. This is probably one of my favorite parts because it kind of helps me look at some things that I haven't looked at before, and it also helps you because then you kind of get my opinion on it as well, and Christian's, of course. So let's get to it, man. What questions we got for this week?
Yeah, the one thing I also wanted to talk about was, and this has been a question a few people asked. Anthony Moran just asked, what about the Snowflake IPO? So apparently that's Tuesday as well. I heard it was this week. I didn't realize the debt was.
Is that Tuesday too? It's going to be a busy ass day on Tuesday.
Yeah. So,
damn.
By the way, we go live every Tuesday. So we'll be live on Tuesday at 2 p.m.
It might be a marathon on Tuesday. Shit.
Yeah, it might. The Apple event's at 1. We'll go down at 2, which is perfect. 2 p.m. Eastern time.
Yep.
We might just run through. So the Snowflake IPO.
The Snowflake IPO, I've answered this one before, and my opinion remains unchanged. I think this is going to be a good one to own. Obviously, it's got to be good if Warren Buffett's putting money into it. But my opinions on IPOs are that they're extremely volatile, and so I would just wait and see. It's not something that I would just buy on the first day. Give it some time to develop. Watch for some areas that actually look like they might consolidate, and then make your move. If this runs without you, it runs without you. So be it. It's going to dip at some point. Nothing ever goes straight up. So if you see the risk versus reward and buying it right as it opens, fine. But for me, I don't like doing trading IPOs that way. I waited for Rocket to settle down, and it worked out perfectly. I think we'll probably end up seeing a similar type of reaction with Snowflake.
I agree. We don't usually trade IPOs. This one, I could definitely see doing it.
Yeah.
If anyone, this is the one. Hype is just going to move this thing. And apparently, I believe I read, I haven't done a ton of research, but I believe it's supposed to be around 75 to 80 a share, $8 a share. I think you can get in and you could be totally fine. And I think Hype will take it. I also agree there will be a pullback. I think it'll take some time, but when it does, I think it's going to be a pretty sharp pullback.
Yeah.
And especially after that first earnings, I would sell it before the first earnings.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
All right.
What else we got?
Next question. Chris Von Compernole. That sounded like I said it right, but I know it didn't. Peloton stressing him out.
Oh, man. All right. Well, real quick, Craig Goodwin, welcome to the Chaos Crew. Happy to have you guys. Again, if you want to be a part of that, hit the join button. Peloton, I bought back into. So that should tell you something about how I feel about it. Their earnings were absolutely incredible. The only reason the Peloton fell off is because the rest of the market fell off on Friday. It wasn't Peloton's fault. It was everything. So this is a really good opportunity, in my opinion, to grab on the dip. If you guys caught last Thursday, I had 1/3 of my position left in Peloton after I sold off for a massive gain on that. And so I had 5 shares left. It ran like crazy, just broke over $100 a share, and then sold off the rest of the day with the rest of the market. I think, and I ended up adding to this at around $88 as well. So I'm still feeling really good about my average here. And so I like Peloton a lot. I don't think there's any reason why I wouldn't add to this even going into next week.
Yeah. And I want to add, if you're watching this recorded, I'm going to add the video for the most underrated stock that you did, which was Peloton. So that gives a lot of reasons why you love Peloton.
Yeah.
Next question we have is Claudia R. What about Facebook? Will it return back to 300? Very good question.
Facebook will return back to 300, but not before it continues to sell off. Excuse me. I think that this is going to continue to come down. And, we don't like to talk about politics on this channel, but politics do affect stocks. And I think that Facebook is being affected by politics because of the way that they are carrying themselves as far as their own policy is concerned. And that's causing a lot of the selling to happen. I think that this could probably start to turn back either leading up to or after the election. And it's just a fact. That's why it's being affected this way. And what do you got on this, Christian?
I agree. What we talked about off air was Facebook over the next couple of months. I'm Fat Man Zoom. I love Facebook.
Yeah.
It's a great company. If you're holding it, hold it. Like it'll probably come down. I don't see anything good coming. I only see bad coming from the elections coming up. I don't think anybody's saying, oh, Facebook's been off. So I think there's just going to be more issues. And so I'm really hesitant on it. So, but again, these are opportunities.
Right.
I just think coming close to November, it's going to be a tough sledding. It's going to be tough sledding.
Yeah, that'll work. So you're gonna be on the struggle bus. People love it when I say the struggle bus. So if you're looking for areas to potentially scoop this up at, I like it in the 250s, and this has a really strong support, honestly, at 244. So we actually talked about this when it broke 244 about it being a really strong resistance, and then it just kept on making a monster move. If we come back down to that area, it could be a very clear buy for me, whether the election has happened or not. I really would like it around there. We have a stream high 544 members in here, or viewers in here. Baby. You guys are incredible. Let's get those likes up to 250. Can we do that? That would be awesome if you guys could do that for us to help support the channel and help us grow. Push that algo out.
All right. So CJ, is the beginning of the week going to be good for Tesla, or wait to load up later in the week Do you think it'll be its all-time high? So obviously Battery Day is the following week, which is the 22nd.
22nd, yep.
Which will be next Stock Watch Sunday. That's going to be the topic of conversation is Tesla. So what say you, my friend?
I love Tesla. I mean, we've had a really nice bounce from 308, and I think this probably does continue to go up. We didn't really get into it too much, but he had some words to say about Bill Gates, about him not really knowing anything about electric vehicles because Bill Gates thinks that it's not a practical solution for long-term trips. So there might be some of that banter going back and forth this week. I don't think it affects the stock really all that much, but it's certainly interesting to talk about. I like I like Tesla leading up to Battery Day, and I think that this week is when we start to head up into that because Battery Day is what Wednesday of next week. Tuesday of next week. So I think it starts to get bought up leading into that. The really crucial area here is 375. It has to stay above before it really kind of continues. And then after that, up above 400 is the next area we're looking for. So 375 is going to be the magic number for me for it to sustain and continue. And then hopefully continue to go on after that.
Rumors are that SpaceX could potentially IPO in 2021.
Ooh.
Can you imagine what that IPO is going to be like and how many questions?
Oh my God, that would go bonkers.
Oh man. All right. So personally, I don't think it's going to be at all-time highs by the end of the week. But I do think we see a move. I feel good about the levels they are, and especially towards the end of the week. So I don't think you can go wrong either way. Just see how it plays out. I would like to see how tomorrow plays out. Like I'm probably going to hold off till after like 11 or afternoon, just because we've had these moves. I feel good about tomorrow overall, but we've had these fake outs. So we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that if you've been accumulating in this mid to low 300 range, you probably will be sitting pretty come next week.
Okay, Landon, what do you guys think about an entry on Costco right now with this recent dip from hitting 360? Earnings coming up on the 24th and should crush, and it should be one of the 5 we talk about next week, I would imagine.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite stocks to hold, to trade, whatever. You want to hold it for dividends. They're great. I like Costco a lot. I do think that they crush it. 339 seems to be awfully cheap for them. Looks like it came back and touched a support here at 335 and bounced slightly on Friday. I think they do continue to make a really nice move into next week and leading up to earnings, and they will crush them, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal company. Great fundamentals. They're run really well. It's recession proof. It really can last through anything. Yep. So I would agree. It's a buy.
Yep.
All right. Next question we have Afrin M. Hey, Brad, any thoughts on NVIDIA and ARM deal? That's another one I forgot.
Yeah, so I was hoping somebody would ask about this. NVIDIA is going to roll tomorrow. They had a really good deal through SoftBank. They're going to acquire ARM, which is SoftBank's, for $40 billion. This thing's going to go nuts. I don't even know what to say. It's going to go crazy. Just get in if it were me.
Yeah. So the N in Fat Man Zoom is NVIDIA, and this stock you need to be in. I mean, so they just passed Intel as the biggest chip provider now. Their management is insane. They have arguably one of the best CEOs. Their processor is for gamers, which is that industry is crushing and only going to continue to crush it. And here's the thing to think about. So their chips are not really focused on, like, when you think about the PCs, which ARM is supposed to enter them into that.
Yeah.
What NVIDIA does focuses on the gaming, high-end, high-value chips, self-driving cars. And then there was one more thing that I wanted to bring. Oh, basically the AI. So creators in AI, among other things.
Yep.
Their chips are positioned for the future. So while the Intels of the world, and we like AMD, so I don't want it to sound like I'm knocking AMD, but the Intels and the AMDs of the world, while they're going to be shifting their business in the future, NVIDIA has positioned it what it's supposed to be. So it's already ahead of the game and their product is superior. So this stock is phenomenal. It's 20% off its 52-week highs. This is the news it needed to run, and it's going to run.
Yep. If you can somehow get this under $500, then consider yourself lucky.
Absolutely.
A couple of people joined the Chaos Crew. Let's see here. We got Lester Benfield and Doug Tyus. Welcome to the crew, guys.
So then we have Kira Simpson. Do you think Amazon is going to talk about a company we don't talk about? This is an amazing company.
We don't talk about it enough.
No, but the market doesn't talk about it. Do you think Amazon is going to drop further as well? I know you kept saying 4K by the end of the year. It got beat down. Is it time to pick up more?
I still stand by 4K by the end of the year, and I've said recently there's been a lot of people in the mentorship that have asked about this as well, which, by the way, if you want to be a part of, click the link in the description. You get free 30 days by entering the code SUMMER. But I'd like this, if this can hold above 3,000, in between 3,000 and 3,100, that's kind of the range that I'm looking at to accumulate this. I think this is really a good one to grab. It's a no-brainer.
All this needs is a little bit of news.
Yep, that's it. That's all it needs. And I think
spark.
that, yeah.
The spark is going to go off.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
I'm waiting for, I think it's going to go off, and I think 3,500 is going to be a new support. But I agree. I think your prediction is fair with 4K by the end of the year. What an incredible company that is.
Yeah.
So Sean Wacope, what does the Oracle deal mean for Fastly?
The Oracle deal for Fastly means and I think there's going to be a lot up in the air here. Real quick, Tan and Steve King, thanks for the donations, but guys, I really appreciate the support as always. You guys are always killing it. But as far as how it may impact Fastly, it could impact Fastly very positively, and I think that we actually see a move on Fastly tomorrow. But here's the thing: this is just a short-term move that I think that'll happen with Fastly. The long-term is going to be: will Oracle see Fastly as a valued asset to TikTok? Right now, TikTok is their largest client at 12%, and is responsible for 12% of the revenue. Could that change? Maybe, but we'll have to see how Oracle feels about that now that they've acquired them. Man,
Oracle just put themselves in the mix from the company.
They're just out of left field. I mean, it's crazy.
They're going to be in the mix. They're going to be a stock for 2021. Let me tell you this: Fastly will run, and if it doesn't, scoop it up because it deserves to run.
Yeah,
we always talk about things that like artificial catalysts that beat down a stock, right? Works both ways.
Yep.
And looking for those opportunities. This was a perfect example. We've been talking about it for a while. Fastly got hurt from the TikTok news, so that wasn't legitimate. So we expect it to bounce back. Let me tell you something about TikTok, because I want people to hear it first. I want them to hear it here first. The knock on TikTok for Oracle is going to be the same knock for Snapchat, which is monetization.
Yep.
That's not an issue. People are going to start talking about the business revenue. So they just started accounts for business creators. So you heard it here first, people. They just started that. The next 3 to 6 months, they're going to be talking about that, and that revenue is going to show up next year, and it's going to be a ton of money, not to mention the influencer opportunities, the influencer deals. For example, Dunkin' Donuts just did a deal with the biggest influencer on Instagram, and it's selling out. So they launch that business thing. I'm telling you, you're going to be thanking me later.
Yep. And I'm sure you guys are probably wondering where can you buy Oracle at if you didn't get in already. I'm looking at $60. I think it probably shoots up past that, but $60 a share seems to be the next area that it has to break through in order for it to continue. Those are the areas that I'm watching for, and then there's all-time highs at $62. So there's not going to be a lot of time to grab this thing, but if you can, great. I wouldn't chase it after it breaks these, though. Just try to get in before. That would be my plan. But honestly, if you're in Oracle, there's no reason to sell it. I think you would just still be a really nice hold leading into 2021.
All right, so I have this last question, and then I want us to address, I feel like we need to address Netflix.
Okay.
So the last question is from Zachary Nicholson. NVIDIA or Oracle pre-market buy for tomorrow?
Damn. NVIDIA. I got to go with NVIDIA. It's just a better company. It's a really great deal. It's got to be NVIDIA. What you got?
I love NVIDIA.
I mean, it's a hard decision, but I just had to go with one. And I think the whenever I get pinned with these questions, it's like, go with the better company. And I think NVIDIA is just a better company.
That's a fair point. You're wrong. Okay, let's talk about Netflix. So, are you up to date on what's going on with Netflix?
I mean, I've heard all the controversy with this cuties thing, but that's about it.
Yeah. So the question is, how's stock going to respond? So anybody that doesn't know, there's this movie on Netflix that is a French movie. It's been released internationally. It actually won a Sundance Award, had got no heat in Europe, but it's gotten heat here. So it's about teenagers, a group of teenage girls, and some politicians are saying that it's like child pornography and it's whatever. And so they're getting Netflix is getting a ton of heat for it. So the question becomes, what do we do with Netflix? Because apparently there could be some legal ramifications, but at the very least, it's a PR nightmare. It's going to be a PR nightmare for them.
Yeah, I mean, until they get this sorted out, I would say steer clear of it. I've been saying for a while now that I felt like it was starting to get overvalued, especially as I started to see it on some of the videos that I put out related to the top 10 stocks that I would see on Robinhood or what have you. Netflix always seemed to be there. And as people were buying this into the 500s, I kept saying that I felt like it was overvalued for a lot of reasons. And so this just gives people an excuse to sell it now. I think that probably it does end up coming down, especially as if this becomes more of a thing and, there's a lot more voices that come out speaking against it.
Yeah. And I want to be clear. This is in the same vein as politics. Like we're not providing social commentary on what's going on. We're talking about strictly in relation to the stock market, how the stock market goes. So this isn't our sentiments. I have a 6-year-old daughter, so I'm not speaking from that context or that lens.
Yeah.
So from the business lens, over the long term, this is a buying opportunity. I don't think you buy now. I think you steer clear of it, like Brad said. But I think when the dust settles again, I think there's going to be a great buying opportunity because over the long term, there's going to be a blip on the radar. It's already being kind of beat up. This is going to make it get beat up even more. But it's one movie. It could pull it. If it gets that bad, it's going to pull it. I don't think anything really seriously comes to the company where it hurts the company from like the financial perspective. So I think wherever it lands, you feel good that it's done. You're probably going to get a good opportunity to buy into it.
Yeah. And I agree 100%. So I think there's going to be good opportunities to buy this at. If you're looking for certain levels, potentially I'm looking at the 4-hour chart and this looks like potentially 460 could be an area that it could come down to, and even as low as 404. So this is definitely something that just wait and watch because there's going to be opportunities to grab this for sure. And I saw somebody saying this would be a good opportunity to grab some Webull, which, yes, there's the link for the Webull in the description as well, because you can trade pre-market, full pre-market hours and after hours with Webull but you can't do it with Robinhood. So if you have Robinhood and you can't trade pre-market, you want to get on some NVIDIA Oracle, you're not going to be able to do it in time.
So just an update, because I know we're about to sign off. The Rams are up 10-7. Looking good for Fat Man Zoom. Rams have the ball.
We got plenty of game to go. That being said, guys, we're at 600 concurrent viewers. Thanks so much for hanging out. 238 likes. If you got value out of tonight's show, certainly would appreciate a thumbs up. And, man, it's been another great night, bro. We got a crazy week ahead of us. We can't wait to talk to you on Tuesday to see how the market's already shaping up.
I know, and I think you almost made the entire show without saying that being said.
I had to throw it in there at some point. There's a lot of sober people out there tonight.
Oh, man. When does pre-market start?
4 a.m. Eastern time.
Castro.
Eastern time. 4 a.m. Eastern time.
Okay.
All right. That's going to do it for us, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. Again, if you want to be part of the Chaos Crew, click the join button. If you want to go check out the mentorship, the links are in the description. You know what to do. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. As always, folks, we will see you all before the bell. We're out. See ya.
Bye.
Bye. What do you think about the surprise earnings as well? Were you in... Why do I keep saying Do I say that all the time, or is it just today? I feel like I'm saying a lot more often today. I don't know what the deal is. It has just... It and how many times can I say buyback, which is a for every 12 release. Because if you're one thing that I have noticed more than Chicago. Farts are funny. I don't care who you are. Cash card spend was up 50% with the cash balances stored in accounts, which is 86% higher. Blah, 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 blah. That is a tongue twister. Why did I do that to myself? PewDiePie getting my notifications. Come on, man. Yes, I got it. Try that again. Boom. Whoop. Got it. Thanks, guys. It might just be chaotic. But that being said, we have a lot. I can't believe I said that being said again. You know how many times people give me a hard time for that? All right, let's start over. Okay, so a little bit different today. We'll be talking about switching brokerages and all that good stuff, but it's so nice outside. I gotta take a walk, so we're gonna do this. Hopefully people, I don't know, whatever. Anyways, we're gonna do this, all right? Okay, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna try to get out here in the water a little bit because it's gorgeous out there. Look at that. The water. You probably can't see it too well. That's all right. I'm just gonna have to let you go. That's fine. Let's do it that way. There's like huge freaking knot on this log that I'm sitting on, but I want to make sure I get a good shot. All right. I also want to make sure I don't look like a big old fat ass either. Camera, you know, it adds like 15 minutes or so. That's what I hear. Not only that, but does this news actually mean that your remote work stocks are actually going to be in trouble? So I'll give you those answers as well. But let's go ahead and take a look at the news here. And the company reported that. But not only. Okay. So yes, I'm still leaning in heavenly. Yeah. So yes, I'm still leading. TJX certainly will be something that you would not want to own. We're going to get it. Now, TJS Penn right now has its Leave me a comment if you think they'll move forward with this one. Give us something to look forward to, SEC. Penn is sitting at $52.36 as of this recording, and if sports no, I don't want to do that. Ouch. That hurt. All right. Let me go back. Broker, catch this video here. Guys, please like and subscribe. And as always, I will see you all before the bell. And B. Smith is out. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but...